I'll start by saying I know there was an incident with Caitlin ran into a fan running off the floor. I want to apologize to her and their entire program. She's had such a spectacular performance today, and she's such a great player, and that should never happen. And so I feel really badly. So hopefully she's okay and that doesn't have any affect her moving forward. But that is extremely unfortunate. It shouldn't happen to anybody, but man, such a great player like Caitlin, I really hate that. And so, I know we had security in place, but the student apparently beat the security. So I really feel badly about that.
Thanks for the time, Coach. Congrats on the win. Your plan today looked like was drive into the paint and establish an inside game. How happy were you with the results of that and being able to stay so close in the game early on?
Yeah, I thought they would play a lot of zone, and I didn't want to just fall in love with the three. I knew we needed to get some balance in our offense, and we did. And I thought in particular Cody was excellent around the rim, finishing, getting fouled. We did get some threes, and we made some big ones. But I think overall, the balance we were looking for, we achieved.
And how much more, on the Cody piece, how much more dangerous is Cody when she's getting those and one opportunities? She's hitting layups and she's hearing the whistle, and it just seems like it fires her up. How do you see her change when that happens?
Yeah, I mean, she, going back to prior to Christmas, she was kind of in a little bit of a funk there. She wasn't playing real well. And she has practiced extremely hard and extremely well every single day since we came out of Christmas break. And so I'm really happy to see her be able to apply that to the game today. And she was just so effective around the rim, and you could see her physicality and aggression really coming through, and really fun to watch.
In those final moments of the game, you had girls out there who had 4 fouls. How much trust did you have in players like Celeste and players like Theory to make sure they weren't going to get that 5th foul and could have been used in that?
Yeah, and I think that we got in some foul trouble, but that was really big. That I thought Ricky, Emma, Madison, even Ty, when she was in it, they all gave us good minutes off the bench, which we needed given the foul trouble that we were in. And I think they made good decisions late in the game to not get that 5th foul.
These past few games you struggled with 3, but this matchup you really picked it up in a huge game where you needed it. How much is that due to the fact you guys have been able to find success down low, which opened up opportunities?
Yeah, I thought the more we got the ball around the basket, the more it opened up the outside to get better looks at the 3. And so I think that had a lot to do with shooting a better percentage today.
Kevin, you've been a women's basketball coach here for a long time. Have you ever seen an environment quite like today's, and just how special is that?
It was incredible. I'm just so proud of our community, the way they came out to support us and a great Iowa team, and it was just an incredible game, like 2 good teams. Caitlin Clark's a spectacular player, and I know that was a big draw, and she delivered. She was absolutely unbelievable. Cody was unbelievable, and just a great game. And so I'm, for fans who have never been here before, hopefully that keeps them coming back. And because I thought you saw a team playing extremely hard, extremely well, and really together. And so I think we're a fun group to watch. And so hopefully we can continue to build on this.
Yeah, and going off that, how big of a springboard do you think this can be for your team?
I hope so. I mean, if you watch this play today, I think number one, like recruits, that's a fun style of play, and that's a team that plays hard and plays well together. And like I said, for people who haven't seen us before, I think they probably enjoyed that. So hopefully we can keep building with our attendance.
Kevin, there was a stretch there in that second half, it might have been third quarter, where Cody just wasn't getting any call, and it seemed frustrating for you and for her. How much has Cody grown mentally in the aspect of not being able to let that bother her too much and be able to put that aside and finish the game?
Yeah, no doubt. And she's such a unique player because she, unlike most people in women's basketball, can play through contact. And so sometimes, she's not going to get all the calls that other people are going to get because it just doesn't look the same because she's playing through the contact. And so she did a great job today of kind of maintaining her composure and continuing to play the game the right way and the right way for us.
And one more thing, you mentioned her maintaining composure. She mentioned obviously she hasn't played the way she wanted to the last few games, but in a game like this, you need your best players to be your best player.
No doubt.
Is that kind of a microcosm of her right now to be able to kind of overcome some of this stuff to show up when you have to do the most?
Yeah, she was really determined, and she's been determined in practice this week, and she was really locked in and focused. And hopefully this is a great reminder for her when her focus and energy is as it was today, how special she can be and how much she can impact this team.
Kevin?
Hello.
Yes.
You played this team twice last year very well. Not quite there.
Yep.
You went out and got Celeste this offseason. How big was she today in all aspects of this game?
Yeah, she's a great player. She played extremely hard, and she had a lot of hustle plays today. She dove on the floor, she tipped balls, and I think you're starting to see her become more comfortable with us offensively, and I think she's still even got a higher ceiling in our system, and so hopefully she can continue to get better, and I think you'll even see more out of her down the stretch.
Do you think this team in general has a higher ceiling?
I do. It's really interesting because if you look at our season last year, we had something really unique happen, and you usually peak once a year. And last year, we kind of peaked in the first month of the season. We were playing great basketball. Then we had a bunch of injuries and things kind of changed. And then we got healthy again, and we sort of peaked at the end again and played well. I think with this year's team, it's going to be a little bit of more of a slow, gradual climb. And I told them we wouldn't have won this game 3 weeks ago. We just weren't playing well enough. But we've gotten better with our defense. We've gotten better with our rebounding. And we still have a ways to go to be who I think we're capable of being.
And for me, I have one more. Everybody talked about Cody in this game because she was great. Emma came in and was fantastic. Everybody contributed in some small way. I mean, how important was that to have everybody do something big in this game?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to beat a great team like Iowa, you got to have contributions from multiple people. But I thought Emma's 2 threes were absolutely huge because we were really in a lull there scoring wise. I also thought she didn't play a lot of minutes, but Ty gave us some really good energy and good minutes off the bench as well.
Kevin, going back to Dan's question about the atmosphere, you also had a number of players from other sports here today. Martin Harrison Jr. sitting front row. To see the support from guys that are part of the Buckeye family, but have their own things to focus on, what does that mean for your program and just Buckeye Nation in general?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. That's one of the things that makes Ohio State special. It's just the support that the athletes give each other. And so it was really fun to see a lot of those football guys here and enjoying it. And so, hopefully they'll keep coming back.
Going into overtime, where was the confidence level in this team? What did you feel like the team can accomplish, and did you feel like you kind of had it in the bag at that point?
Well, I didn't feel like we had it in the bag, but I felt confident because just the way we had come back and the way we were playing when regulation ended. And it was really the message was just like, hey, we got 5 more minutes, everything we got. We're playing to win, and we're going to lay it all out there on the floor.
And you still have one more matchup against Iowa in Iowa. So what is the expectations after this matchup that you think you'll see out of them, especially that being the last matchup in the season before the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked about it in the locker room that we've taken a couple tough losses and had to bounce back from them, and now we got to handle success. And so we just had a big win. I told them to enjoy it today, and then tomorrow we're moving on to the next game. And so, when we play at Iowa in the last game of the regular season, we need to be a better team than we are today because they're going to be better, and they get better throughout the year, and we need to do the same thing. And so, hopefully we'll have another good matchup out there.
Coach, the last time you guys played Iowa was obviously the Big Ten championship of the tournament last year. How much did you guys study the film from last year? Obviously, a whole new team. You have a whole new team. They have a whole new team. How much did you study the film from last year to prepare for this game?
Yeah, we looked at it a little bit. Now, we've had enough games this year to really see what they're doing because they're a little different. But they do a lot of the same stuff. And so, but we've really watched a lot of film with them recently. And, they're a great team. They're really, really hard to match up with them. Kaylin does such an excellent job, coming off the ball screens. And if you're the person guarding the screener isn't real active helping the guard getting over, then she's going to turn the corner or step back and shoot it. But then when you do that, they're rolling, and she's reading the roll and the person helping to take the roll, and she's reading those perfectly. She does that as well as anyone I've ever seen in 30 years of college basketball. So she makes it really hard to guard.
Just another question. I know we talked a lot about Celeste Taylor and Taylor Theory already. 2 great defenders for you this season, and obviously Taylor Theory was a great defender for you last season as well. How much did the early fouls change the game prep, and what kind of impact did Madison Green bring on defense?
Yeah, it was tough because we started out, our plan was like Celeste is going to guard Caitlin and then Taylor's going to guard her when she's out, and then all of a sudden they both get in foul trouble. So as they say, best laid plans just go out the window. So we were kind of winging it there for a while, and I thought Madison gave us some good minutes though, and just kind of keeping her in front of her.
Hey Kevin, I know you've had some big wins in your tenure here, but to have the number 2 team come in with the best player in the nation, fall behind, tie it up, her score all of their points in overtime, and you guys bury them. I mean, put in perspective, how big a win is this?
It's a
For the
huge,
program.
yeah. I think it's a huge win for the program. We beat an incredible team with one of the best players to ever play our sport, and we did it in front of 18,000 people. And so, hopefully, the significance is hopefully we can really build on that with the momentum with our program this season, but in general, we had a lot of recruits here that I think love the environment and the atmosphere. It's on NBC, so we came into this thinking this was an incredible opportunity, and we capitalized on it.
Question for you, asked JC about this, being down 12 points in the second half. She said didn't even realize that they were down 12 points. They just wanted to stay in the game. What does that show about your team that the scoreboard doesn't really register to them and they're able to still come back from, at that point, a double-digit deficit?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a mature enough team, an experienced enough team, and we've been in these situations where we've been down, kind of call timeout, regroup, and hey, let's get back to doing what we were doing that was successful, and we did that. But I think it speaks to our experience in our leadership.
And then how huge is it, that same communication, that same student-led, like, we're going to take the game back over in a crowd like this, where it doesn't seem like the crowd will get much bigger unless you go all
Yeah,
the way.
no, it's huge. I mean, I think player-led teams are the most effective teams, and we've got great leadership, and I think it showed today.
One last thing, rebounding has always been something you guys have been working to improve. You've out-rebounded the top Big Ten rebounding team today. So how huge was it to be able to get those, especially offensive rebounds, for second chances against a team that has Clark, who rarely misses?
Yeah, no, it was huge. I think that was a big part of the game. And we talked about that, because they're one of the best rebounding teams in the league, and so we knew this was going to be a huge part of the game. And so I was really happy with our effort. In particular, I thought Cody was great on the boards, and so but still an area where we're going to stay focused on.